Hey people, welcome to Mental Health in Music. I'm about to give a A-grade introduction. I have got the Lord of the Mics champ, the no stranger to a clash, the chorus king, the sing-along bars guy, a man like Rowdy in front of me.
Jeez, that was a nice intro. I like that, thanks.
Hey, how are you? How's life?
I'm good. El, how are you, my friend?
I'm good, thank you very much. I'm so happy to have you here. Do you know how long we organised this?
Yeah.
A couple of months ago, right?
Way in advance.
Way in advance, because that's how we roll.
Yeah.
And I've been looking forward to it since then, so I'm glad to have you here.
Prepped gang. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
I want to start off. I'm going to go in straight away.
Go on.
I'm not going to sugarcoat
Don't
it.
play around.
So you've got a reputation as a clash MC. What kind of qualities does it take to be a clash MC?
Confidence, number one. Stage presence helps. There's different techniques, depends on what your style is. Like for me, being funny worked, or trying to be funny, making jokes, humor, comedy, theatrics. Do you know what I mean? Like I've never been the type to have be the tough guy. So I've never really gone for like the bullying, but I'm the bigger guy than you thing. But I've seen people use that and it works as well effectively. There's loads of different ways you can do what you can make your own character work in a battle scenario. But for me, it's normally been like humor and just random little references to either a lyric of theirs or something about them.
I've watched your Lord of the Mics clashes, and when you are against an opponent, it's funny because I found that in one of your clashes, I can't remember who it was, but what he was saying was not relevant to the clash, and you came up and you spun him because everything that he said, you just spun it right back at him and shot it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, I don't know what clash you're talking about, but when I'm in a clash, I just like I can think quick on my feet as well, and I can freestyle if I have to.
Yeah.
And I don't have to freestyle the whole lyric as well. I can put in a little, like a one line, change something, and that helps as well.
Is it tempo? Was it tempo or XP? I think it might have been.
Could have been either.
I think it was tempo, but that was a funny clash.
Yeah, I was freestyling a lot and just reacting to things that he was saying as well. And
because his bars seemed pre-written and yours were like, okay, I'm gonna spin what you just said.
Some of the lyrics that were pre-written just fit so well to the exact scenario, just through sheer luck. That he's reading off his phone. Yeah. That wasn't the lyric, but I just said it at the beginning of the lyric and went into a lyric that I had, and the lyric just mentioned something about, I don't need it just worked. Yeah. It was pure luck. And well, luck that it took however many years of me practicing to be sharp as well.
I think that was a unanimous win when Jammer asked everyone who won. That was pretty easy.
Yeah, I think even Tempo will admit that. That's himself.
Yeah. I want to talk about maybe your most famous beef, AJ Tracy.
Yeah.
What were the circumstances behind the diss, Gay J Snakey?
Really, with hindsight now, looking back, just immaturity on my part.
Yeah.
Whatever his part is, I can't really speak for what his reasons were for. But me, immaturity, hype, clout, like a lot of the things that I don't really stand for now.
Yeah.
And just the competitive nature as well definitely was a big part of it. Yeah. Which I'm still competitive, but I don't really want to be like using that competitive energy to battle people. But I think that's probably.
Because it was AJ, Big Zoo, there was another guy as well.
J Ammo.
That's it, J Ammo.
Yeah, man, but it's all blessed since then. Like AJ's got his massive success, Zoo's got the TV show, like big success to them lot. And yeah, I'm happy for them to keep doing well, you get me?
How was it left after that clash?
Didn't see them for time. Then there was like a little, I bumped into Zoo at one of Tiatsim's events years ago. Just spudded and didn't say nothing. We just spudded each other, didn't say anything. And then AJ DM'd me a few years ago, and we just had a little. I just apologised. Like that was it. It was all good. Okay. Not seen them since, but wish them all the best.
Yeah.
Glad to see some people from the school that we came from had that astronomical success. So it's amazing. You get me?
Yeah, I hear that. What kind of effect do you think clashing has had on your career? Because at one point it was you were the clash guy, like totally. That was what you were doing.
I'd say the roller coaster, innit? I'd say at some point it was like the thing that elevated my career, and then at a certain point it was the thing that had a massive negative effect on it. But yeah, I guess it was never really what I even wanted to do. It was just sort of something I just fell into. I always wanted to just make tunes and perform. Just I was always trying to be an artist, like artist from early. So, but I just fell into clashing, and you know, like I've been told, if it's working, go where it's working. So that's sort of what led down that route. And then as I got a sort of name as clashing, it comes what the energy you're putting out, you sort of attract. So I was like, yeah, I'll clash anybody. So that made people want to clash. And then, yeah, that's just sort of how it went. And now I'm trying not to ever clash again. Unless I have to.
Do you think that's because of the negative effects that you say it had on your career?
What were they? Just being older. But the negative effects, I'd say, made a lot of people pick a side.
Yeah.
And then, from my perspective, when it's people who like have always been cool with you, or you've always been cool with them, and then suddenly through the fact that you've battled someone there's nothing to do with them, that relationship with that other person can sort of end up a bit weird. That's one of the worst things, like, for me. Yeah, how it can affect your relationships with people that have nothing to do with it, just through picking sides. But it doesn't always happen with every clash either. It just happens. It can happen with some.
Yeah.
And yeah, always, like, if you're always writing from the perspective of trying to insult someone, you're not really making like groundbreaking art, are you? Or music people can really relate to. You know, stuff that's not timed. You're just making stuff that people can have a laugh at, maybe at night when they're a bit waved. You get me, coming from a rave. Oh yeah, let's put that battle on and have a laugh. Like, but I'm trying to make the stuff that, you know, people last forever. The stuff that you really relate to. But I always have as well, but now I'm much more focused on it than I was before. No battling, no nothing like that.
You've got a serious catalogue of music, so not only was you able to do the clashing thing, but you were able to put out tunes and projects, especially on your Bandcamp and stuff like that. Are you one of those people that are sitting on a lot of music as well and that needs to release a lot?
Nah, not right now, I'm not. I think over the time I've put most of it out. And I've been like fairly consistent, I think, dropping at least a project every year I think anyway. But sometimes it'd be like an EP and then an instrumental EP, but I've got like 10 mixtapes, something like that. And then, yeah, just been consistently making stuff. If it works together as a project, dropping it. But now, like, the project I'm working on, I'm writing a lot less, but it's more like targeted. I'm writing about specific subjects, and being much more personal with it, trying to make like an album that will last longer than I will.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah. Yeah. You've always
whatever it does as well, whatever like the feedback on it is, however well it does, I just want to know that the music stands for itself. Yeah. Even if 10 people hear it. Yeah. Or if 10 million people hear it.
You've always been someone who backs themselves 100%. Confidence is up there. Yeah. Where does that come from? And is that not always? Is that also a personality trait of yours? Is it just a music thing? Because you can be confident in music, but that could not be a personality trait of your own in your normal life.
I'd say, yeah, it's like, I think with the battling thing, my whole character as a battle MC was like overconfidence, because it just intimidates your opponent. But that's like a small part of my confidence. Like, I'm just confident in my music and who I am as well, but maybe not to the extent like that you're seeing. Like, when I'm if you see me clash, you might think like, oh, that guy thinks he's no, he thinks he's the best, whatever. But that's just a tool that I used when I was clashing people. Yeah. Because, you know, it's very difficult to clash someone that is super duper confident and like you feel like whatever you're throwing at them is not doing anything. So that was one of the tools that I used when I was clashing. But yeah, in life and in my music, I'm confident. I'm not so confident. I'm confident in my music. I'm maybe not so confident in other people's ability to enjoy it as much as I want them to.
Okay.
I've sort of, my expectations of, you know, selling billions of records and everybody knowing it, like, are, you know, managed. I don't live in a dream world. I just make stuff that I think is good, and whoever likes it, amazing. Thank you. You get me?
I hear that. Do you think, like, it has been said that your confidence borders on arrogance? What's your response to that?
I'd like to say that I think that's a misconception, especially through the battling side of things.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, I'm actually humble, but I've just used confidence as a tool to keep me motivated as well.
Yeah.
But I could see, like, with hindsight, looking back, I can definitely see how that it could be misconstrued like that. But anyone who really knows me would know that it's not really that. But I can see it, and it's something that I'm working on.
Yeah.
And have been working on.
Yeah.
You know, like, when you notice a character flaw about yourself.
Yeah.
When people keep misunderstanding your actions or something, maybe change your actions a little bit or something like that. You get me?
Yeah, I hear that.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Self-awareness, isn't it?
Yeah, I just want to be better every day.
Yeah.
Be a better dad, be a better person, better son, better MC.
And what are you trying to be better? Who and what are you trying to be better than the person from yesterday, or
the person that I was 5 minutes ago? Yeah. Constantly. You know, I want to learn. I'm always trying to learn ways to be better at stuff, at everything. But I'm a work in progress. I think most people
we
should.
all are.
Yeah, you should. Yeah.
Some of us don't know it, but the ones that do, we
Some
all
people
are.
are not putting in as much progress as they maybe should. Sometimes I'm guilty of that myself as well. Yeah. But yeah, not anymore.
You talk a lot about trauma in your music. What kinds of things have you been through that you would class as trauma?
I guess, like, growing up without my biological dad there, that was, like, obviously fairly traumatic. And I'm blessed that I've had my stepdad there from when I was young as well. I've got a song that's, like, half written about that situation. It's like a celebration of my stepdad. So, but yeah, the trauma side, dad not being there. Like, I got bullied in school as well. I, like, just dramas throughout the years. I've seen some mad shit. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen people fucked up on drugs, like, to next levels. Like, you know, like, I've seen from, like, a junkie to, like, someone who's, like, a brethren of mine going too far partying. You know, like. But yeah, there's all sorts of stuff that I've seen that's left a mark on me that, like, I think about, like, gives me the chills, or, you know, like, just affects me. You know, there's things that I can think about, and just my breath, I can just lose the breath in my chest. You know what I mean? It takes, like, I have to, like, have to take a deep breath and just correct myself. And yeah, man, just try. I'm in a good space now mentally. Like, I've grown past. I don't carry as much stuff, but especially when I'm writing music, it's like, I think that helps as well to get it off my chest, to express it. And then I also do it for the fact that, like, it helps me to write it. It might help someone else to hear it. So that's why there's a lot of it in the music. Do you think, and there's obviously some things I can't really just talk about. Like, you get me?
Yeah, I hear that. Do you think it was difficult not having your dad as a child or as a boy, like being a son without a dad?
Probably both. Both. Yeah. I mean, like, he was. I always knew who he was. It wasn't it wasn't like that. But I'd only see him, like, maybe, like, once a year, something like that. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, sometimes you can't even remember exactly what's made you feel the certain way. You just remember how you felt. You know what I mean? Like, you don't remember exactly what somebody said. You just remember the way it made you feel. You don't remember exactly, like, why you even feel that way sometimes. Like, especially when it's trauma from years ago, you might have tried to bury it to move past it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's a sticky one.
Yeah, it's interesting because I'm just trying to work out, like, as a boy without a dad, like, what kind of stress that brings, and how traumatic that can be. Obviously, that's not something I would understand.
I guess because I have my stepdad there as well, it's different because he's like a traditional, like, strong male role model. You get me? So I'm blessed to have that. So I guess I kind of dodged a bullet of not at least having a positive male role model. And he did sports, so he'd play like cricket or like rugby on the weekend, so I'd be around his mates as well, so there'd be like, I'd see positive male role models around, or some that weren't role models, but you know what I mean, there was just older men around me, so it wasn't like I didn't have positive male influence, or just even just a little nudge to toughen you up, you know what I mean, like, oh, you trip over when you're playing in front of a bunch of tough 12 big hench rugby players. They just, get up, you're all right, you know what I mean? There's none of this, oh, you know, like being all wimpy and that. You get me? So that's sort of, I guess I didn't really miss the boy having the dad. It was just I didn't have my biological dad there every day, and like, as I got older, my relationship with my stepdad got better and better and better. But as a kid, I guess, I guess there's some things that made me the way I am, innit? Damaged.
Aren't we all?
Damaged, but on the repair, like on the mend.
Yeah, I think we're all kind of, I mean, damaged is a horrible word, but I think we're all kind of affected by something in some way. It's impossible for us to grow up and our parents, something that our parents have done or not done, to not inflict on us. They could be doing the best they can, but something clicks within them and they've put it on you, and all of a sudden that's your trauma, you're carrying it. And
they're not with you 24/7. You know what I mean? And anything can happen at any moment. And you know, I see little kids get like traumatized by like a bee sting or something like that. And then when they ever see a bee again, they're like having a big fit, bigger than any, you know, most people don't want a bee flying near their ear, but some people, you know, if a kid's been stung, then they're so anything at any moment can traumatize a kid. You get me? And as a parent now myself, it's just a case of trying to keep them as safe as possible for, you know, the rest of their life.
You know how hard that is. Only for the rest of their life, not long.
For the rest of mine.
For real. On your track, Hear All That, you talk about people doing you dirty.
Yeah.
How do you get past that?
Just get past them. Can't you do me dirty? Yeah, you're done. You miss out on all the great parts of being my friend. Yeah. All the benefits, all the perks. Yeah. And yeah, just move on. Yeah. Like Is it
that simple?
Yeah, really is. Yeah. Yeah. I've done it quite recently. Okay. I feel great. Bye.
Well, that's the end of that. Wow, I've never heard someone put it so simply. Yeah, that's it, we're done.
That's one thing. That's one thing. Like that for me is easy. Oh, someone did me dirty. Bye. If the only time that gets a little bit tricky is if they are still attached or have like a ongoing relationship with someone else that I'm close with. Yeah. But that either means that the other person has to either choose between us, which is always a horrible thing for someone to have to choose between two people. Yeah. Or they then have to have two separate relationships, and then that's their thing to juggle. You know, like imagine like somebody's getting married. They can either invite me or they can invite someone I've fallen out with. Yeah. Like, or they can invite both, but they have to sit up. You know what I'm saying? That's just the only time it really gets tricky. If like you're detaching yourself from someone that is still attached to someone that you're still attached to.
And are you happy to be in that situation? Are you happy for that person to stay attached to both people and for them to work it out and you to just be on your side?
Now that depends if the reason I've fallen out with said person is because of the other involves the other person at all, or if it affects them.
Because that can get sticky.
Yeah, like if I've fallen out with someone because they've stolen something, and then I tell a mutual friend and they want to stay friends with them, that's cool, but don't come complaining to me when your things get teeth. You get me? Yeah. But if someone did something disgusting, hopefully never in my life will I be around someone that would do anything like disgusting like that. But if somebody did something disgusting and, you know, I can't be friends with anyone who even would want to be friends with them, then that's two friends gone. Yeah. If that person wants to stay friends with them. But I've never been put in that position. Hopefully I never will be. Yeah. Touch wood.
Yeah. Would you call that self-care, protecting your mental health?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And it's not even just about my own mental health. And I have daughter that I have to think about, like especially who's going to be in her presence or whose presence she's going to be in. Yeah. Extremely careful about that stuff. You get me? I don't want her to go through half of the trauma that I've been through. Yeah. You get me? I just want her to be having it a bit smoother. Yeah. But who knows what's going to happen for her? I just got to do my job to make it as easy as I possibly can for her. You get me?
That's a hard job, isn't
it? But I wouldn't have it any other way. Yeah. It's got to be done.
You talked about depression on All Different Now.
Yeah.
What events do you think triggered that phase in your life?
I don't know, man. I don't know whether it's just the chemical imbalance in my brain or whether it's like at times being broke has definitely triggered it massively. Like, but having money's not fixed it.
That's interesting.
Yeah, like I'm not like I've ever been like the level of rich where you can start thinking money could solve your problems. But I mean, even when I've just been comfortable with money and not had money to worry about as much, I've still not always been not depressed. Do you get me? But yeah, I find the best thing that I found recently is just constant exercise. That's what helps the most. Yeah. And just trying to deal with the shit you have to deal with face on. Don't try and push stuff to the side for too long. Yeah. Because it'll just come back around worse.
Do you think that once you have depression, you can get rid of it and it never comes back? Or is it something that you think is ongoing and that you have to continually deal with?
I'd like to think that you can get rid of it. Yeah. Yeah. But I don't know yet, do I? Because I'm still living and I still have waves so it can come back. Yeah. But they don't last as long, and I now have more tools to defeat them when those waves come. Yeah. So
you feel more equipped now.
Yeah, and it happens less often, and for less often. Yeah. So potentially that could be a year or two before anything even triggers anything again, or it could be the rest of my life, or it could be today. You never know.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because I've spoken to doctors about anxiety and depression, and they say, you know, the earlier that you catch it, you can get rid of it. But you know, obviously, particularly anxiety is not something that you can get rid of because it's a natural human emotion. So it's obviously depends on the level of anxiety that you're experiencing. It may not be, you know, way above your head that you can't manage it, but you'll still have a level of it because that's an emotion that we have to have.
And then there's that theory or that saying like you can't heal in the place that made you sick. Yeah. So if you grew up in London and living in London made you depressed, yeah.
You still living here.
And you still live there. Yeah. Is that taking enough steps for your self-care to get better? Or did you find an alternative way to get better and deal with it and still stay in the same place? Yeah. You know, does that, can you heal in the same place that made you sick? Yeah. Is that, you know what I'm saying?
What do you think?
I'd like to think so. I've seen people get better. Yeah. But I don't know if anybody's ever better. Well, nobody's ever going to be better forever because everybody's going to die of something anyway. Yeah.
But what does better mean to you when you say better?
An improvement.
An improvement.
In the quality of your life and the quality of your mental health. Yeah. Whether that's permanent or whether it's like a constant getting better, whether it's battling like climbing up a mountain. Yeah. You know, whether it's up and down. I guess everybody's different, but as long as you don't go too far down and stay in a dark place for too long.
Yeah. Because better can mean to someone that you never feel those emotions again, and that's unrealistic.
Yeah, no, I don't mean like everything's great now. I just mean an improvement. Yeah. Working to be better every day. Yeah. And obviously some days you're going to fail and you're going to have a bad day. Yeah. But then you just got to try and get up again the day after and crack on. Yeah. You get me? Yeah.
I think musically and as a person we saw a change in your behaviour a few years ago. And I think kind of you mellowed out a little bit and you weren't as, I don't want to say hype because hype's a nice thing. You weren't as
shouty.
Shouty, yeah, we'll do that. What attributed that change for you? What came about?
She sat next door. Yeah, probably just having my daughter. Yeah. It was a massive like change in my life. Massive point of reflection and just the reason I'm alive, the reason to live. You get me? She just makes everything better.
Yeah.
Little fucker.
Can you describe how you change as a man when you have a child? What is that change?
Me personally, or what? Or just in men generally?
I'm going to say, is there a different answer to both?
I don't know.
Tell me about your perspective first.
Right. Well, I say it in a skit in my song 25th of August, yeah, which is about my daughter. And I say at the end of the tune, the minute my daughter opened her eyes, I had more love for her than I'd ever had for anything in my entire life. But what that did was opened up the amount of love that I was then able to have for anything else in life. Because I saw her open her eye, she looked straight at me, and yeah, the love I had for her was bigger than anything I'd ever had before, but I also felt the exact same love for my girl. Mm-hmm. But the love for her had obviously like increased because now my daughter's like it's like I'd leveled up in a computer game, and the amount of love that my heart could fit had just got bigger. Yeah. And that was the biggest influence on me, boy.
Yeah. That's powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah. It was a beautiful thing.
And you've never like life pre your daughter was obviously you couldn't feel those emotions. Or you didn't.
I'd felt love. I'd felt every type of emotion, obviously, but there was just like the amount of love that my body was able to feel had just increased. Mm-hmm. You know, and I've been walking with a bit more love in my heart since. You get me? Just generally everything I do.
And how do you think it changes men in general? Because that's your experience. Do you think it's the same thing, or something clicks? What happens?
I just think it makes people more responsible, especially if you like I can only speak about dads that stick around. You get me? No shots at anyone. I know life is tricky. You get me? Not everyone's with said person they'd like to be with, and so I don't judge anyone for anything. But yeah, I guess for dads that are sticking up, that are around and trying to be an active father, just much more responsibility, innit? Like you've got some little person now that is more important than you are. So it's impossible to be selfish. Mm-hmm. You have to put that little person first, you know. And I guess then you're going to be out drinking less, you're going to be out partying less, and then you're going to be there's some things you're just going to be doing less if you're it's not everybody, but you're going to be spending more time at home. You're going to be spending more time watching kids programs, playing with toys, and no. And I guess it's good to have that. Playing with a kid all the time is going to make you stay youthful, have that youthful thing in your heart, and that can be good for people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you think it makes a difference that you've had a daughter and not a son? Do you think you'd feel the same but different if you had a son?
I think I'd feel the same, like the love and all of that. Yeah. But I think my house would be smashed up a bit more. You get me? I think
Lego everywhere.
I think young boys at that age can be a big ball of energy. Not that she's not as well, but I don't know, innit? I don't really know. I'm happy I've got a daughter. Yeah. Having a son, we'll see what the future has.
Yeah.
Watch this space. Don't let the missus hear this, she'll get gassed.
Can you give me 3 life lessons that you'd like to pass on to your daughter that you think will set her up for life?
Ooh, wow. 3 life lessons. Wow.
Put you on the spot now.
Yeah. Make sure you make your own money so you ain't got to ask for things for other people. That's an important one. It's not the most important, but it's important. Always respect yourself and don't let anyone disrespect you. And if somebody does disrespect you, get away from there, or do whatever you feel you need to do to sort out that disrespect. But yeah, always respect yourself because you were raised right. You ain't got no excuses. And a third one. Find what makes you happy and do it as often as you can. And surround yourselves with people that make you happy and love you. And you will, by the time you're older, you will know what love is, because that's how you've been raised.
Yeah.
There you go.
Those are very sick.
Yeah, there's about 9 gems in there instead of 3
Yeah,
answers.
for real.
I'm a sneak.
Thinking of writing them down in my head now, like, Rob, I just learned from Rowdy today.
Yeah, we got the audio
I love
recorded.
those. And those are things that you can teach at any age, and that will carry her to any age as well.
They're things I should remind myself of sometimes as well.
Yeah.
I think they're good life lessons for anyone.
Yeah. 100%. It's not easy though, is it?
Nothing's easy, but nothing that's worth having is, you get me?
Yeah.
Work for stuff.
Yeah.
And happiness is one of those things you have to work at.
Yeah. What do you do when you feel like you've had to work too hard for stuff though? Because some people feel like...
Give yourself a break.
You
Go
think?
on holiday.
Yeah.
Stop whatever you're doing that's making you feel like that.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that's painting a canvas, whether that's working, you know, whether that's taking photos, designing clothes, writing raps, whatever. Just whatever's making you feel like that. Stop doing it for an hour. Stop doing it for a day. Stop doing it for a week. However long. Just detach yourself from it. Come back to it with even more force.
Mm-hmm.
Get me?
I like that. Just regroup.
Yeah, man.
Have a think.
Like,
Cup of tea, come back.
switch it off.
Yeah.
Switch off. Unplug it. Plug it back in.
Sometimes
Like
those,
you would
those
with
things
it,
are people. They're not things. They're
Exactly.
people. Yeah.
Like you would with any sort of machine, and your brain is a bit of a machine, except it's not like run on electricity, say.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just unplug, disconnect,
Yeah.
Recharge,
Yeah.
plug in again.
Yeah.
And hopefully it works properly this there.
What's your life motto? Do you have one?
Do I have a life motto?
Something that you live by?
No, I don't really have a motto. Do I have a motto? You don't want to see me get rowdy. No, I don't really have a motto per se, but just do what makes you happy, and as often as you can, be around people that make you happy. Go where the love is. You get me? Go where the love is.
Sounds so simple, but more time people don't do that, do they?
Yeah, and it's not always easy to go where the love is, because like people that have got that love to offer sometimes can be really popular.
Yeah.
And then it gets techie. Sometimes if you don't want to be around certain people, you know what I mean? Like I mentioned previously. But yeah, man, just do what makes you happy, man.
Yeah.
Do you get me? Just don't be a dickhead.
Yeah.
don't be hurting people to make yourself happy.
Yeah.
Because obviously hurt people. Ooh,
yeah.
Gems.
I've had the pleasure of listening to a lot of your production.
Yeah.
You know, when our
exclusive,
our car journeys, and you're like, right, I'm gonna fling on some tunes. Like, what's the plan with your production?
Nothing. Just let them sit in a computer forever until I bump into a famous rapper that's gonna make me go. No, I'm joking. I don't really have a plan. I've not really thought about it. I've just been making beats over the years, just trying to get better. Mm-hmm. And then, yeah, like if I ever buck up with artists, it's always good to have an archive for them to go through. Mm-hmm. But to be honest, I've not really been pushing anything at the moment. I've been sort of working on the album a little bit. Like I finished most of it. I've got like one track that I've been writing for time. It took me ages to finish it, but I finished it. And then other than that, I ain't really been working on music. I've just been living.
Yeah. Yeah,
I can't lie. I've just been living, trying to do up family life and make sure there's money in the bank and food in the fridge and cupboards.
Is it hard to do both music and living?
Can be. It's harder since having a kid, because it's difficult to have a late night radio set when I know I've got to be up at 7 in the morning, 6 in the morning, and like I'm active dad. Do you get me? I'm not just. It's not all the missus' responsibility. Like, I've got to play my position, but it's all good though. You get me? But yeah, and I've sort of fallen out of love with just the faffing about part of the scene, and I like making music, I like performing.
Yeah.
I just want to do that. I don't really want to do all the rest of it.
Has Spaces got anything to do with your falling out of love with anything?
It might have triggered it, but I don't think it's really the reason.
Yeah.
Because Yeah, I don't like being involved in people's passa and that, but I guess any passa I've been dragged in is probably my own fault for having silly convo, little gossipy convos I shouldn't have had in it, you get me? So take responsibility for my own actions. But yeah, no, the spaces thing is good, it's a good tool. I've seen some man like doing some good stuff with it, but I just don't really have time to not be in a room, but kind of be in a room chatting to 10 people at the same time, where nobody's got social cues, everybody's talking over each other. Like, I'd rather just meet people. So that's why it's just long for me, but I can see how it's a good positive tool. I might pop in and listen occasionally, but I haven't for ages, and I don't have any like plans to anytime soon.
How do you feel about the scene?
It's people doing good things, like always. Yeah, there's people doing good things. There's not a lot of music that I personally am like in love with. Like I'm not waking up thinking, oh, I need to play this, man, I need to hear this today. I just hear bits and bobs in passing, and I think, oh, that's a good tune. Or I'll be at radio, I hear something, I'll be like asking the DJ, what's this? Oh, my man's hard. The odd little thing pops up on my timeline if I'm not really on social media as much. I guess that I just don't really have the passion for checking for it as much as I used to. Yeah. But I know there's sick stuff out there.
Is that down to priorities changing, or just your level of interest has dropped?
75-25.
Yeah.
Yeah, priorities 75.
Yeah.
And then just falling out of the habit of it as well, and then just not really finding the time.
Does that not make you feel you've been left behind?
I don't really know if I've been like left behind, because I don't know if any of the people that I was with have really like gone anyway. Do you get me?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's anything that I don't think I couldn't just make a few phone calls and jump on a set and shut it down, and people would be like, oh yeah, no, he's sick. You get me? I can still fuck it up whenever I want. I still got bars, cuz. You get me?
Because
still got bars, cuz.
You can feel like sometimes if you're not on social media and you're not posting regularly and you're not involved with what's going on, you can feel like you've been left behind. It can feel like that if you're not on social media, but you're watching everybody else's social media. Yes. But I've not been doing that, so I'm just living my life. I'll check the odd thing occasionally. I'm like, oh, sick, Cami Rhythm, better versions. I'll like start checking every couple of days because there's something interesting now. Or so-and-so's beefing on Twitter, I'll check to see what they're saying. And it was something interesting, you get me? I'm still like connected to people. It's like my brethren might message me one day, did you see this? Then I'll go and look at, we'll have a little chat about it. But I'm not sitting there scrolling through the timeline. So scrolling down.
You get me? I'm not scrolling down no more. No more scrolling down. So yeah, like I just see as much of it as I want to see. Yeah. Which is a much healthier way for me.
Much better.
Much better for me, man. Yeah. Just because you could be getting upset or emotionally attached to someone else's passa. There's nothing to do with you. Stressing your own head out. Yeah. Over what? I had to not be doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. And you say it, and it makes no sense hearing it, but it happens, and you're like, how does that happen?
So easy to fall into it, man. So easy. You know, like how people get attached to TV stars and stuff like that. Yeah. Spaces is even easier because it might be people that you've like passed or know in passing, or even people that you actually know. But you're hearing them in a light talk about something that maybe on a topic that you've never had a conversation with them about. Yeah. And it's sort of like a little TV show about people that you know. So you're actually already a little bit emotionally attached, and then you're getting yourself in. Nah, I'm not attaching myself to any of that shit, man. I have a conversation with people in person instead. Yeah. Do you get me? I don't need to hear people's every fucking thought, man.
Yeah. That's what Twitter is, isn't it?
Yeah, it can be. And it can be good. Some people are good at what thoughts they let out into the public. Some people not so much.
The other day I tweeted that crunchy nut cornflakes now get more soggy in the milk than they used to.
I hear you still.
Yeah. Because they used to be a lot crunchier, but now you put them in milk, they get mad soggy.
You're not on the oat milk.
Oh no, I'm using oat milk. That could be why. Because I used to drink cow's milk. I don't drink cow's milk.
Could be that, but are you using the barista oat milk?
No, I'm not.
I'll start using that slightly better quality, my friend.
Okay.
Indulge. Gourmet, baby.
And that's it from our promotion section of the interview. All right, barista oat milk is the way forward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. I'm not going to say what brand.
I know. Yeah.
Great
Product
drink.
placement in that, like.
Yeah.
I thought that was only for like making coffees and that though. That's why I've never bought that one.
Nah, flavours.
Flavors.
Gotta be good to yourself, man.
Yeah. What else do you do to be good to yourself? You go to the gym, you eat well. You've got this monster bottle of water with you today, which you've finished.
Always drink water. I always, like, from when I used to go radio 3 times, 4 times a week. Always.
Listen, I just want to let everyone know that we go out and Rowdy says, we say, do you want to drink? And Rowdy goes, no, I've got water, I'm fine. And we're drinking rum.
But yeah, that was in I have little periods where I take like a few months off drinking in it. But now, like, yeah, give me a rum. back on the rum. It's summertime, man. Summertime, rummer time.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So you said you're going to release another album?
Yeah.
Is that definite?
I feel like now growth isn't really an album with hindsight.
At the
Do
you know what? It's funny that you say that because I listened to it through and obviously I played some tunes from it and I was like, hang on, this isn't long enough to be an album.
It feels more like
but it's a good project.
It feels more like a mixtape.
Yeah.
And I feel like what I'm working on now is album quality, but probably a mixtape again.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is me now publicly retracting growth as an album. Wow. It's a mixtape. You get me? I ain't got an album. I do not have an album. I just have another mixtape. And now I'm working on album quality stuff. I don't know how I'm going to release it. To be honest, at the moment, and this is me in sort of like a sort of with music, with not being able to put it in words, I feel like just putting it out willy-nilly and not really bothering, and just if the world likes it, then they like it. But I also know that that's me sort of being a bit lazy and being a bit sort of negative about it. So I'm going to wait a bit longer, see if I build any more music, see if anything changes about the way I feel about how to put it out. Because my faith in the music is the same. It's just I don't think I'll ever be able to get the promotion side of things to the levels it should be at. I don't feel I have the time or the resources currently. Unless anybody is listening and would like to reach out and help me.
Well, if you need a press release, hit me up.
You know this.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say Growth's not an album now. Do you think it got the love that it should have got?
At the time, no, I didn't.
Great.
I didn't. I thought, no, people should like this more. But I realised it's in a weird pocket because it's all grime speed. But it's not stuff that you would play on a grime set. It's not club friendly. Not that you couldn't play it as like a warm-up track. If you're a big fan of me and you just wanted to support me, you could play it in your set, slip it in there. But I don't think it's like, it's more like a late night car thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
we've had many of those, haven't we?
Yeah, I feel like I have still late night car tunes. But it's weird because unless you're actually a fan of what I've been doing over the years and you're like, you listen to most of my music, if you just know me because of like the hype of things I've done that have been attached to like the greater part of the scene, you probably expect like the hype energy from me all the time. So you might be like, no, this guy's work, man. You know what I mean? When if that's your opinion, go fuck yourself. But but I understand people expecting something from you, and then it being really hard for them to find it because it's spread across so many different sort of styles. Yeah. So, yeah. But
that comes down to like I was having a conversation with someone the other day about grime, and it's like if you make grime, you can never make another genre because people will say you're why are you not making grime?
If you make grime, you can't even make more relaxed grime.
Yeah, it's not. You can't. You're not allowed. How dare you?
Yeah. You can't even make grime with a singing hook. Yeah. You can, but in reality, you can make whatever you want. If it's sick, people will shut up eventually. Innit? Yeah. But another thing is people always looking for any excuse to not like stuff. Yeah. Any excuse. So you need to make sure that the drum snare that you've used in your song is the right song. Otherwise, I can't listen to that because of that snare. You're mixed out. I can't listen to that because that dodgy mixed out. Oh, it's not as loud as my other tunes because the master's not right. I can't listen to that. Oh, like this hook's annoying after you listen to it for too long. I can't listen to that tune anymore. You know, like,
it's always
and
something.
we're all guilty of it.
Yeah.
It's all things that give us the ick musically as a listener.
Yeah.
And trying to find them and not do them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's really picky. I don't like your snare, so I can't listen to this track.
Yeah,
I'm not
man.
a fan of it.
That's the producer in me.
Do you do that to other people's music?
Yeah, yeah. I'm saying we as consumers of music.
Yeah.
Everybody does that.
Yeah.
Or everybody that I know finds things they don't like about something.
Yeah.
And you know, can put them off stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Not like maybe stuff that's getting released on like a commercial level, because obviously
Yeah.
it's probably gone through loads of people that have loads of tweaking processes and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I feel like a lot of the time I hear one sound can put me off something completely. And I personally am very picky with what I enjoy listening to.
Yeah.
In certain settings, like I could be out in a rave and I can have a good time to anything if I'm in the right mood.
Yeah.
You get me? But when it comes to stuff I listen to at home, when it's my time to listen to music, I'm very, very, very picky.
Yeah.
Even certain tunes of my own I can't listen to unless I'm in the right mood. Like,
Okay.
And then there's some that I can listen to anytime because they just get me going, they get me on, they just connect.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
yeah, man. But I feel like everybody gets the ick over
Yeah.
certain things with music.
Yeah.
And it can ruin a song for you. Even somebody, have you ever, you know them songs where it sounds like they're singing something different?
Yeah.
You can hear someone like sing something wrong over it, and then you can only ever hear what that person was singing, and that song's ruined for you now.
Yeah.
And that's one example of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. I'm hard enough to even get to listen to new stuff or to really like it anyway.
Yeah.
So I guess other people probably ain't as bad as me, but yeah, like loads of people find little details of stuff that they don't like.
Pick it.
Dead that.
Yeah. What comes first, bars or melody for you?
What, when creating or
When
just
creating.
Melody normally now. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Like find the right beat. But I do still come up with like, ideas and just write bars to no beat and then find the beat to it afterwards, or like get halfway through a bar and be like, all right, I need to find a beat for this now, and then write to it.
yeah.
But normally it'll be, if I'm either listen to the beat, see if I can come up with like some sort of melody that will work as a hook, and if I can freestyle something and it's catchy and I remember it, then I know to record it as a hook. And yeah, if I'm making the beat, I'll start with like the melody, then the drums, and then do the same thing.
Okay.
But yeah, melody first normally.
We are going to play a quick game of this or that. So I'm going to ask you some questions, and you've got to pick one.
Okay.
Just first thing that comes to your head, you've got to pick it.
All right.
All right. Desperados or Heineken?
Desperados.
Radio or raves?
Raves.
Hype tunes or mellow tunes?
Mellow tunes inside, hype tunes outside.
I mean, it's kind of cheating, but we'll take it. Gym or diet?
Both. They go hand in hand.
Air Max 90s or Air Max 1s?
Air Max 90s.
I knew you'd say that.
You see my collection?
Yeah, I've seen it. I think he's going to say that one. Where can we find you on socials?
At ITSROWD on Twitter and on Insta. My Bandcamp is itsrowd.bandcamp.com. ROW space D on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. I think my YouTube channel is It's Rowdy as well, ITSROWD, one word. Yeah, man. Or just at Mode.London. Go, who was that Rowdy guy, man? He was very interesting. I want to hear what his music's saying, because he was chatting bare shit, but if his music makes sense, then what he was saying might have made a bit more sense.
Rowdy, you have been an absolutely amazing guest.
We always have fun together, don't we?
Always. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me. It was a pleasure.
Welcome. Right, I have been Elle Formosa. This has been Mental Health in Music. I will be back in a couple of weeks' time with a new guest. Until then, take it easy.